The past few weeks of the MLB season has been nothing short of insane. We've seen unexpected collapses and unexpected rises come from multiple different MLB teams. Let's start out with one of the craziest playoff races so far, the AL East. The Rays went from the best team in the MLB a few months ago to losing their ace in Shane McClanahan and star shortstop Wander Franco. It's obviously impacted them in a very negative way, but they've managed to stay great regardless. They're 85 and 55, 3.5 games back from the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles have managed to sustain their success pretty much all year long, except they've really only gotten better with time. Pitcher Grayson Rodriguez breakout for the Orioles, to also go along with another breakout in shortstop Gunnar Henderson, another breakout for the Orioles. Everything is going the Orioles' way, and I'd expect them to ultimately win the division. Also, yes, Blue Jays fans, I think that they will for sure make the playoffs with ease. The Blue Jays have a very easy month of September, playing the Royals, Rangers, Red Sox, and the Yankees for 16 games this month. Expect a playoff berth from the Blue Jays. Teams like the Red Sox and Yankees, I would ultimately expect them to miss out on the playoffs. Better luck next time, pal. Next, the AL Central, the division of losing, best way to put it. That's, of course, if you don't play in Minnesota, because you're not making the playoffs if you don't play in Minnesota and you're in the Central. The Twins are 73 and 67, and watch out for them to potentially make a good run in the postseason too. This team to me has the right pieces, and one of the most underrated pitching staffs in the entire league. Pitching has been the formula as of recent, and I'd expect the Twins to show that exactly this year. Anyways, enough with that crap. Let's get into the best playoff race in the league. The Astros, Mariners, and the Rangers that are all battling it out for first place in the division. The Astros are 80 and 61. The Mariners are 78 and 61. And the Rangers are 76 and 63. Ultimately for the Rangers, they're an absolute embarrassment right now. They were once 10 games ahead in the division and are now 3 games back. Ultimately, I'd expect them to miss out on a playoff berth this year. A team destroyed simply by a bad bullpen. It's a shame. Now, what isn't a shame on the other hand is the Astros and the Mariners. Since selling at the trade deadline, the Seattle Mariners have turned into one of the greatest teams in the entire sport. They've been red hot with the pitching, and the bats have all been hitting. The Astros, on the other hand, have been just as good, if not better, than the Mariners. Both of their schedules are actually pretty evenly matched, although I'd probably go ahead and say that the Mariners is a bit harder than the Astros schedule. But in the end, I'll take the team with more talent right now offensively in the Houston Astros. Astros finished first place in the division, with the Mariners right behind them, earning themselves a wildcard spot. Now let's move into the NL race, which is a lot different than that AL race. And the reason is that there aren't as much division races. Instead, it's a lot more wildcard based. Reason being is because, a team like the Braves or Dodgers are 1000% winning their division. So I'm not going to be focusing on them. The only division in the NL that is having a first place competition is the NL Central. The Brewers, Cubs, and Reds are all currently battling it out for first place. The Reds have so many injuries right now, and being in third place, half a game out of the wild card, I'd expect the Reds to just miss out on the wild card spot in general. As for the Cubs and the Brewers, it comes down to I think the Brewers are a better team, right? I think that they're more ahead on the roster. As far as that Cubs team, I think I love what they've built, but they have a lot more to go ahead and build. A 2024 offseason is really going to end up benefiting them. I would still expect the Cubs to make it into the wildcard playoffs, but I would expect the Brewers to go ahead and win the division. The biggest reason for that is, of course, the Brewers' rotation right now. I think it'll end up getting them into that NL Central first place title card with no issue. As for the rest of the wildcard race, I think that the Phillies are a lock to make it in, along with the Cubs, obviously. Both teams playing super competitive baseball, it would take a real choke for either of them to miss out on the playoffs. That leaves us with one of the last playoff spots, or I guess the very last playoff spot. That, of course, currently belongs to the Marlins, and I think that this spot could very well go to anyone. The Diamondbacks are only half a game away from the Marlins, and the Diamondbacks have a fairly easy schedule, playing 10 games combined against the Mets, Yankees, and the White Sox. These games are going to be crucial for the Diamondbacks. They're pretty much all must-wins, with all their other games being against the Cubs, Giants, and the Astros. The Diamondbacks are a pretty, streaky and sneaky team, and a pretty inconsistent one. It wouldn't really shock me to see a random burst from the Diamondbacks and they secure the wildcard spot, which ultimately is what I think will happen. The Marlins' schedule is a bit harder, but they also have the talent to be fine and keep their wildcard spot. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, those are my playoff predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.